Hello, everyone. Hello. Oh, my days. When I tell you, I just finished binge watching what I am now calling Heart of Invictus Polo Edition. Okay, I know it's not the real title, but just roll with me for a second here. I watched the Polo and I was completely shook. Picture this: slow motion galloping horses, sweaty brows, and tension so thick you could cut it with a mallet. The semi-finals, chef's kiss. I was yelling at my screen like it was the World Cup or that one chaotic game of spades at family Christmas. Who knew polo could be this gripping? Don't worry, I'll drop a full review soon. Perhaps we can even do a series of quizzes on the polo series. Let me know in the comments. Would you guys like us to do a polo quiz after we're done with the spare quiz? But this is not the reason why we are here today. We are here to talk about the drama in the courtroom going on. Yes, you would never guess it because there's so much buzz around the polo at the moment, but there is a lot going on in Prince Harry's court case. It kind of works in the favor of the Sun at the moment because um the Sun's narrative is louder. But yeah, anyway, that's why you have people like me. Before we continue, let me say hello to my people. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Isabella Bank's YouTube channel. I'm Wheezy, your guide through the thrilling, baffling, and often downright absurd world of the British media's battle against Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan. As I was saying, we are here today to talk about the court case. Court case that Prince Harry has against the Sun. Um, so, um, this courtroom showdown has more twist than an Agatha Christie novel, honestly. So grab your popcorn and maybe a notepad so that you can keep track of the twists and turns that we're going to encounter along the way, because this one is a doozy. I would say actually that this one is juicier than a Netflix docu-series. And I hope Prince Harry makes a Netflix docu-series out of the court case. Why not? If the British media can benefit from reporting on the case, why can't Prince Harry also benefit from it? That would be an idea, right? That would be a lovely idea. So before we continue though, if this is your first time on this channel, oh sorry, just a second. If this is your first time on this channel, if this is your first time on this channel, please hit the subscribe button, the like button, and leave a comment or two in the comment section. If you have visited before and you have not yet subscribed, let today be the day you decide to subscribe. Thank you. Oh my God, to all my new subscribers. As you guys know, we are on a mission to get to 5,000 subscribers before the end of the month. And we are exactly 26 subscribers away from 5,000. So, guys, I have to say, to those people who may not be aware, if you are listening to me now, have a look at your subscription status of your YouTube channel. Okay. I have had a few people say to me in the past that they have been listening to me for the longest time, but didn't realize that they were not yet subscribed. So, before you continue with this video, Just have a look to see whether you're actually subscribed so that you can help me get to 5,000 subscribers at the end of the month. The numbers are key in this battle against the negative narrative currently being spun against Harry and Meghan. And you might think it doesn't matter because you're just one person, but actually, it does very much matter. For all those who have been rocking with me from the beginning, thank you so much. Don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section. Also, hit the like button, okay? Also, hit the like button. Okay, so let's dive into this court case. Welcome to Law and Order, Sussex Units. Earlier this week, Prince Harry squared off with NGN, the parent company of The Sun. That's Murdoch's paper, The Sun. Okay. So NGN's lawyers have accused Harry of trying to turn his lawsuit into, wait for it, a public inquiry. The unmitigated gall, the hypocrisy is just ridiculous. Before we continue, let me remind you that in my last update, I had notified you. That's the one that we heard that the judge had asked the son to hand over the email correspondence they had had with the royal family during the disclosure of evidence process. So bringing it back to current day, we are currently in the disclosure of evidence process. Okay. So, as you all know, this isn't just your average celebrity suing the tabloids kind of case. Nope. This is about dragging decades of media corruption, hacking scandals, and shady backroom deals into the light. Harry has lined up 60 whole witnesses. 60, while NGN has countered with 65 witnesses. In total, they have 125 people ready to spill tea on a scale that will make the crown writers faint. Even the judge is like, y'all seriously think I can manage this circus in 8 weeks? Because the trial timetable that was agreed before they arrived at the disclosure of evidence stage was that the trial hearing will take 8 weeks. Real talk, if justice is the goal, right? The court is going to have to bend a little here, in my opinion. The case is an unprecedented case in the UK, both in its subject matter and its size. So, how do they expect to force it into a one size fits all type of timeline? Adjustments are going to have to be made because no one, not even royalty, should have their right to a fair trial cramped by a ticking clock. Yeah, and Harry is not letting an inch go. He is fighting tooth and nail. He is not giving them an easy ride at all. And you can almost tell that they were not expecting the kind of fights that they have been getting from Prince Harry at all, because their latest accusation is that, oh, Prince Harry is turning this into a public inquiry. Imagine the Daily Mail, sorry, imagine the Sun, who report on the trial in their newspaper on a minute by minute basis, claiming that because Prince Harry went onto the stage of the Deal Book Summit and he answered the questions that the interviewer put to him, that meant that he was trying to turn the case into a public inquiry. What if they say that Harry has been trying to do that? Then what do they call what they have been doing? Anyway, meanwhile, in tabloid land, as I was just saying, that the media have been watching Harry like a hawk, tracking his every move while simultaneously trying to silence him. The irony of it all. NGN has got an entire PR machine comprising of the entire UK media spinning their narrative. But Harry speaks once and suddenly it's like, how dare he? Double standards much? During last week's hearing, NGN lawyers dragged out the New York Times interview where Harry said, and I quote, "There's no justice for any of these claimants. He's not just fighting for himself, he's fighting for over 1,300 people who've had to settle for financial reasons." Basically, Prince Harry is like, if it's not me, then who's going to be able to do this? And of course, NGN's team spun this into Harry wants a public inquiry. Their argument, civil litigation isn't the place for it. But here's the thing, this is the funny thing about it all. Referencing past cases. So if Prince Harry goes into the court case and then he makes reference to things that have happened in the cases of the 1,300 people who have settled their case. This is what they don't want Harry to do. They don't want Harry speaking about the case in public. They don't want him referencing any details from the cases that have been settled as well. But the whole basis of judgment in a case is actually referencing third party cases. That's what they call judicial precedent, right? Because when decisions have been made in previous cases, you can reference it in a current case. And so that argument was never going to fly because referencing a third party case in your own case is how judgments are reached at. And so the judge was not buying it. He could dismissed the argument completely. It was like two things can be true at the same time. Okay, while you are saying Prince Harry is trying to turn this case into a public inquiry, I disagree. It's not a public inquiry. But at the same time, there are so many witnesses that between the two of you that time has now become an issue. So, translation of that is you guys need to find a way to work within the 8 weeks, or somebody is going to have to find a way to adjust the playbook to allow for all these witnesses to be heard. Because if they don't, then either party could claim a mistrial, they could appeal the case to ad infinitum. It would be never ending because both parties will say, well, when we came to litigate the case, the judge did not allow us to say everything we wanted to say. And the son could also claim, well, you brought the case already, so why are you bringing us back to court? So the judge is going to have to find a way to accommodate the needs of both parties in this very unique case that is being fought. Seriously. Anyway, for all the facts that it looks like everyone is quiet, but they're not. Everyone, it's not as quiet as you think. The affected parties are strategizing, they're working behind the scenes, and the proof of that is the fact that we suddenly heard from the former deputy prime minister of UK, Gordon Brown, who was like who was like, hold my tea, you are not going to harass my Prince Harry. No. Gordon Brown is accusing NGN of deleting millions of emails to dodge a criminal investigation, calling their actions perjury and obstruction of justice. Now, I don't know if you guys remember this case, and I don't even remember the name of is it the current CEO of the Washington Post? He was the one who, that Lewis guy, what's his name, who was accused of deleting these emails. All right, so that's what Gordon Brown is referring to here. And he is not playing around. He has said that they lied to the police, and it was the lie that they told to the police that gave them the room at the time to delete those emails. And he has proof that they lied to the police. So, what has his statement been on this case so far? He says there's no hiding place for those who perjured themselves or obstructed justice. When I tell you it's heating up over here, trust and believe. So it's a full-on battle over here, and Harry is not alone. People are helping him behind the scenes. As you can see, a former UK Prime Minister, a former UK Deputy Prime Minister is also assisting him, which means that he has access to intel, uh, which is very important in this case. And he is saying that with police investigations stretching into 2025, this saga isn't just a legal battle, it's a full on reckoning. Because once the hammer comes down, that means that it is going to trigger a criminal investigation as well into the media industry. I cannot wait. So while Hollywood is in the middle of a bombastic reckoning, shaking the industry to the core, the UK media industry is in the middle of its own reckoning, and the catalyst for it in this case is Prince Harry. None other than our own Prince Harry, the modern day truth teller. So, for those who get worried about the strength of Prince Harry's case, I will share this comment that a subscriber left for me. And when I just before I read it, can I just say, can I have more of these kind of comments? If you know something, trust me, I am here to read it out and share it with my audience. So this person said, I deliberately didn't include the person's name for to protect their identity. And this person said, hello everyone. Prince Harry, before he left Canada to go to California, he returned to the UK and took a meeting with Scotland Yard. Scotland Yard are the UK police, okay? So Scotland Yard, aka UK police, handed Prince Harry a dossier on the royal family, and everything he claimed is documented. Prince Harry's attorney, David Sherburn, would not bring the case unless the evidence in the case is documented. This is the same evidence that Rupert Murdoch was met with in court, and Rupert Murdoch confessed to the leaks coming from King Charles, Camilla, Prince William, and Kate. This dossier is complete, meaning Rupert Murdoch confessed to everything in court and he exposed everyone involved in the leaking of evidence. That's why it's going to trial in January 2025. And the Daily Mail will be going to trial in 2026. The evidence in the case is clear, and this is why King Charles was told after he returned from Australia and India that the royal family was told by Buckingham Palace attorneys that they had to turn over all emails. Harry has those emails. This is why Clive Alderton is either retiring or being fired. That's Clive Alderton, King Charles's, is he former personal secretary or personal secretary? It's been said he was the wasp in Harry's book Spare. King Charles would advise to fire everyone involved in the bad advice he received. That's what he's currently doing now. Everything else is nonsense. The facts are the facts. Have a good day, everyone. I love the way you just drop this information bomb and then you just said deuces. Have a good day, everyone. Love it. Please keep information like this coming. Want to see it, want to have access to it. This is what we need to know about in support of Prince Harry. um Before I move on, let me just have a look at your comments. uh Diana says British media is getting increasingly desperate. They know this court case will ruin them, and no matter what they try, they just can't make Hero Harry go away. I love that. I love that for them as well. They can't make him go away. They've tried everything. They can't make him go away. And George is right. Will turn into a crypt keeper if we wait any longer. Maybe that's why Willie looks sick. Maybe he's afraid more will come out when Harry takes the stand. And if they push him too hard on the stand, then he will have no choice but to expose everyone and everything. Because at this point, he'll be fighting not to protect, he will be fighting to protect himself. Yep. They said, Loda says, this hot cup of Earl Grey is so hot it deserves 26 new subscribers. Absolutely. If you have not already subscribed, please go ahead to subscribe. Here you go. Let me drop this down here so you're reminded. Uh, let's see. And Connie says, but the honor, if they are desperate, why are they not changing their behavior? Do you know what? That's a great question. And I asked myself why it seemed like they're continuing as though it's business as usual. And the only thing that I could come up with was that they've been hoping that they would intimidate Harry into silence, and it didn't work. And it's either that or they feel like they need to continue to do what they're doing to make as much money until the judgment day. And maybe by then they would have made enough money to pay off the judgment debt. That's the only thing that I can think about. uh, Will Shady is very afraid. He doesn't want to be humiliated. He doesn't want to be on the losing side again on Perry. That's why he's drinking like he has, and that's why he's lost so much weight. I think it even goes deeper than that. Because if you think about the Channel 4 dispatches, that was a huge blow in their armor of gloss and sainthood. Like it really stripped them for the very first time. People had something negative about the royal family, like something seriously negative in the news about the royal family. All this while, it's always been, oh, the royal family are greedy, but you never really could point to one particular thing as evidence of their greed. Just that we see them enjoying luxuries, and it's almost like they could claim that people are being envious or jealous of their wealth. Okay, but for the very first time, you can actually point at something and say, can you imagine that the royal family are charging the NHS money to park the ambulances, and yet the NHS could not afford certain services and people were dying because of it? Yes, that kind of thing. So anyway, Sussex love, hey, how you girl? How are you? How are you? Um so let's see. Meanwhile, The Guardian, I need to warn everyone who has ever trusted the Guardian newspaper. They seem to have flipped the script over there. What on earth is going on with the Guardian? It feels like they've caved to the demands of the right wing media machine. They're bending over backwards to avoid saying anything positive about Harry and Meghan. It's almost like they've joined the shadowy media alliance determined to curate the UK's anti Sussex narrative. I no longer trust them. So, if you have a Guardian's subscription or membership, it's time to cancel it. Look at this headline. It says Prince Harry trying to turn Sun publisher into public inquiry. They just picked out the same narrative that the Sun or the Murdoch papers were using. Whereas the reality of the situation is that the judge actually dismissed their allegation that Harry was trying to turn the trial into a public inquiry. He dismissed it. But that's not what the headline says. This is exactly what we accuse all the rest of the British media who have it's like they have instructions never to report on anything positive on Harry and Meghan. The Guardian are doing the exact same thing. Look at this. Look at another one, another headline. Look at what they had to say about Polo as well. Look at the headline. Polo review. Prince Harry's unintentionally hilarious profile of the world's stupidest sport. Really? Really? It's a stupid sport when Harry is doing it, but when the rest of the royal family are doing it, it's not stupid. Yeah? I would suggest that if anyone is subscribed to the Guardian, this is the time to unsubscribe. They have switched over to the other side. And the real kicker of it all is while we can point out that the papers leading the smear campaign, as we know, the Daily Fail, the people fighting against them are a bit slow on the uptake, are not really doing much. So the derangers are out here loud and coordinated, while the rest of us, I am really sorry to say, we're a bit passive. I don't know whether it's because we're scared or whatever, but I just kind of feel like whatever it is that we're doing or we want to do, we need to do better in supporting Harry and Meghan. Like, if you haven't already gone to watch Polo, go ahead, watch Polo. If you see a positive article about Harry and Meghan, don't just watch, read it and send it on its way. No. If you can leave a comment, engage with it, like it, share it, something. Those things, as insignificant as they may seem, are the currency of the online battle that we're engaged in. This is just the reality of the situation. So we need to come out of our inertia and stop being passive. It doesn't cost anything to like a positive Harry and Meghan post. It doesn't like anything to share it. And instead of engaging with those negative stories that we hear about Harry and Meghan, because now we know that there is no reasoning with these people, right? So the thing to do is to amplify the positive. Amplify the positive. They're already more than us. Um, so it doesn't serve us to even go and look at what they're saying. Now is the time to actually ignore them. Like, we're in the middle of the battlefield and the fighting is very fierce. So now is the time for us to engage with the positive content. So Polo is out now. Go watch it. Rate it. I just left a post. I put something up on my community post. There is a website called IMDb. It's where most people who have to do anything with the entertainment industry go there and they register it. And there's also a section where you can review the content. And the Rangers have stormed over there to leave negative reviews. Okay, can we as a squad go there and leave a positive review? It doesn't cost anything to do it. You don't have to subscribe to anything to do that either. Anyway, turning our attention, shall we, before I start talking about today's Spotlight Thursday task, turning our attention to another Rupert Murdoch situation. Did you guys hear about this story? Rupert Murdoch took a massive L this week. And what is the case about? Well, it seems like they're having a little bit of a family squabble about who controls the family trusts that owns NGN and Fox News. According to the Press Gazette, Murdoch and his son tried to pull a fast one. They were trying to reduce the voting power of Lachlan, that is Rupert Murdoch's oldest son's son. So they wanted to reduce, I think he has 4 kids, and they're all part of the trust. And they were trying to reduce the voting power of the 3 other siblings of Lachlan to give Lachlan full control so that Lachlan could cement a right wing agenda across the family's media empire. But the court rules that they have acted in bad faith and dismiss their application to amend the voting power of the other siblings. So, as would be usual, as to be expected by people like Rupert Murdoch and Lachlan, people with that kind of money, they have promised that they're going to appeal. But of course, it's going to cost them so much money to do all of this. And there is every likelihood that the appeal will fail as well, because you cannot force people to reduce their voting power or their shares in the company. So it might be that Lachlan would have to buy out his siblings to become the sole trustee. Again, we're talking about billions of money involved in this. So watch this space. I'm going to keep you guys updated on what happens next. Now, before I move on to the next bit, let me have a look at your comments. Hey, Julie, how are you doing? Anna continues. She says, I think the British media aren't changing tactics because this has always worked and they just can't wrap their brain around the idea that Harry won't eventually cave like everyone else did. I think that is also part of it as well. They really thought that they will be able to squeeze him, intimidate him. Remember, we don't know the kind of pressure that Harry has been under behind the scenes. We only see them coming out looking fresh and well taking the well looking fresh and like they're taking very good care of themselves, but they must be under an insane amount of pressure behind the scenes due to this case. And part of also the reason why I think we weren't seeing them as much is because the security concern is very high. These people are desperate because this case is not just about getting a court judgment and the civil liability, like the financial liability from a court judgment, but criminal as well. That means that the criminal investigation may send people, a lot of people in the media industry, to jail. This is what they're looking at over here. And we don't know how high up the criminal investigation will go, which means that a lot of people in power, aka Piers Morgan, who have sat at the top of the media pyramid for a long time, may find out that they would have to go to jail or at least protect themselves, or they have to defend themselves in a criminal hearing to get free of it. So, hence the kind of attack Prince Harry has been getting. I mean, if you can think about how Jay-Z is currently going at the lawyer who has brought all these cases against him, you can imagine this is Prince Harry going up against the just one man, literally going up against the establishment. One of the best things he ever did was that he didn't go up against the establishment on his own, but that he made sure that he had other people's join his case. This is what has given him the power, the enduring power to remain in the fight. Because for some reason, I don't know why I don't think have the same thoughts, but a lot of people don't have any sympathy for people who have money, as though they are not human beings. But the best thing Prince Harry ever did was that he was in a case with other people who were affected by similar treatment by the media industry. This is one of the best things he ever did. He did was making it not just about himself. Um, Before we wrap up, sorry, before I go on, Murdoch, Rupert Lackland trying to kick out the other siblings is a win for any nation with Rupert Murdoch in media in it. Mm. Lorna, okay, you know all about this. So you says I didn't want to go into too much detail over here because we're not really interested in Murdoch and his troubles. But yes, I saw this. His kids with Wendy Deng, his other kids, did not want to have voting shares. Two girls. He tried now to give the girl shares to weaken the others, but the court turned it down. Yes, absolutely. That's exactly what happened. Um, hey, Julie says, doing great. They always name every person in the family in this type of case. Uh, Harry is a firm believer in therapy, mental health. I'm sure he's looking after his peace during this case. Yep. Okay, so I'll continue. Before we wrap up, let's go back to Polo, shall we? Because Polo actually deserves its moment in the spotlight. Honestly, it's interesting, it's exciting, and just the right mix of intense feeling and it's so educational. They went about the educational aspect in a very digestible manner. It wasn't too technical, and they broke it down in bits and pieces as we progressed through the documentary, the docu-series. So, it wasn't too emotional as well, but there were certain. I can't believe I actually cried. Does that make me a crybaby? I don't know, but uh, let's face it. This series focused on the men's polo games. If you haven't watched it yet, what are you waiting for? Run! Don't walk over to Netflix and start streaming it today. You won't regret it. Honestly, you might think that it's just horses or it's polo sports. You know how people would think tennis is not enjoyable to watch or racing is not enjoyable to watch because it's a sport. But honestly, it's really interesting. And it's not because I am a Prince Harry stan. If it wasn't, I wouldn't say so. Honestly. It's if it wasn't, I wouldn't say so. Okay. So go ahead, watch it. Let that be the spotlight task that we have for today. Let me know in the comment section. Do you guys want us to do a polo quiz after we are done with the spare quiz? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section, okay? So far we have been supporting Carmen's Place Beauty, and I'm delirious with joy that Carmen's Place is now at 500 subscribers. We are not at 1K subscribers yet, but I am a great fan of appreciating progress. So thank you to everyone who answered the call to subscribe. But this week's focus is on polo, as I just said. So we're not going to be asking anyone to go over to Carmen's Place Beauty. We'll continue from next week. What I do want to say though is if you would like me to throw a spotlight on your channel to help you grow your channel the way we are working to help Carmen grow her channel, please do contact me by email or any of my socials. It's the same name across all my socials, okay? Contact me and then we'll work out how to go about it. All right? Let me look at your comments. Let me see. Harry is going to be victorious. How does these people sleep at night, including the father? I loved Polo, beautifully constructed with the right amount of sport, drama, human interest. I am not sporty and I was hooked. This is a perfect description of what the Polo docu-series was like. I was quite shocked to find myself Team Dirty's dad. He completely showed a different side to himself towards the end of the series. And yeah, I had some very strong emotions about Kiko and Louis. And yes, I loved it. I really, really loved it. I loved it. It was really nice to see how the other half live. It's similar to watching people who have a particular hobby who that you don't necessarily participate in, but you get to see the stories behind how they do what they do and the challenges they face, and you kind of start rooting for different people within it. That's kind of what it's like, and it was so interesting. I found it interesting anyway. So give it a go if you haven't already done so. It's really, really a great watch. Okay, thank you all to my lovely mods, Lorna and Julie. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you guys. I really, really appreciate you all the time. And that's a wrap for today's Sussex World Drama and Media Madness. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, leave a comment, and share your thoughts, especially about whether you want to see a quiz on Polo after we're done with the spare quiz. We are on a mission to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month. We're 26 subscribers away from hitting the goal. So let's make it happen. For those who have been rocking with me from the start, you're the real MVPs. And for my new subscribers, welcome to the squad. Until next time, stay informed, stay vocal, and stay fabulous. This is Wheezy signing off. Ciao.